Hi everyone, welcome to episode 13 of Booze and Brews.
I forgot my mug.
You can forget.
Well, I'm using Lynn's travel mug.
That's okay. It's holiday themed.
It's holiday themed. It's very shiny in the camera.
It is. You probably can't see it. Mine is a beautiful owl dressed up for the winter season.
I have a lot of holiday mugs.
I do too. A lot of them are in storage. So I do have a couple that aren't. Obviously this one, and
This
I
one.
have a great one for next time. But you know, it's all good.
It is. It's good. I was already halfway here and remembered that I forgot my mug, and well, so be it. The mug doesn't make the episode. We do, obviously. I really think we should do outtakes from record ourselves pre-podcast because
that should be a whole podcast. We just push together all the outtakes because
We're-
yes, it takes us a hot minute to like get ready to talk to you all, and well,
it does.
we still don't sound prepared when we start.
So today we wanted to come on to talk about manifesting. Manifesting is an interesting topic.
It's tricky.
It is tricky. It can be very tricky.
It's tricky and easy at the same time. I mean, the idea behind it is easy. You say what you want.
Yeah.
Awesome. You know how many times you say what you don't want accidentally?
All the time.
That is very easy to manifest, by the way.
Yeah,
very
it does
easy.
seem to be really easy to manifest.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's a good point. So the manifesting is all about the internal dialogue that you're having.
Sure.
Right? I mean,
Partially.
yeah. I mean, it's the words matter, right? Words are what you're putting out into the universe. That's what the universe is responding to. So that includes the track that's playing in your head and the things you're also saying out loud. So you can say things out loud that you want, but when you continue to repeat the opposite in your head, you're still playing the opposite track. So that's where like a contradiction comes in. So that's where if you're trying to manifest something completely different than what you are, you really have to work on changing your belief.
Yes. Which is a whole nother level.
I'm wearing my coat because it's 16 degrees today and it feels like it's 16 degrees inside. It is not, but I've just been unable to warm up. So
You know who's not chilly?
the lady in the sauna. Oh.
There is a lady in the sauna. My owl, who is
Wearing
very
a scarf.
conveniently wearing his scarf.
And his hat.
And has hot coffee. So, you know.
He's got coffee
He
for
doesn't really
brains.
have a hat. It's just like his hat. Choo-choo.
He has
Like
a hat?
feathers. Oh, he does have a hat. Oh, you know, here's the hat. It's like literally coming down the side. You probably couldn't see it because I was blocking it with my...
I could see it.
No. That.
Anyway, this is how we do it. Right. So it's about changing the belief. So I'll take an easy one. None of them are easy, but you want to manifest losing weight. Okay. So losing weight is that term in and of itself is kind of odd, which I've come to realize. Because you don't really want to lose it. Like, you kind of want to be gone with it forever. Like, it's not really lost.
Yeah, you don't want to find it again.
It's not worth finding
It's
again.
not in the lost and found box.
Right. So you're not really losing the weight. You could be releasing the weight.
Releasing's a much better way to say
You
it.
gotta let it go. You gotta let go of the weight. So in your head, you want to manifest releasing it. But that also puts it in the future. If you're releasing it,
Yes.
are you releasing it currently, or are you postponing that into
A better time.
when the universe hears like you're releasing it? When are you releasing it? It has to be in the current. So when you want to manifest something, it has to be in the present tense, that it already exists. It's like bringing it already into existence, even though it doesn't actually exist. You have to believe that it exists and that it looks like that already.
You can use tools like imagery. Like, you want to be able to really be able to focus on if you're talking about losing weight, like what you look like,
Yeah.
what you are releasing, where you're releasing it, I don't know, really what you want to look like in the end. Not
Yeah.
The end. Not the end.
Yeah, it might be really skinny then. Anyway.
Shake it off. Shake it
I
off.
know. Those are like intrusive thoughts that come out of your head, and you're like, oh, shouldn't have said it out loud. Any case, yeah, because, and let's talk about the internal track in your head. So you want to release weight, you want to be healthy, you want to be thinner, you want to be whatever the adjective is you want to fill in there. You want to look a certain way that you're not currently looking. I mean, I always do. But what are you saying in your head? Because like in my head, I'm still a fat girl, and I know it. I know that. So am I playing that track in my head as much as I'm writing it down and putting it on my vision board and manifesting to be something different and trying to change habits? I'm still in my head telling myself that I'm something that I'm not
You're manifesting the opposite.
Right. So
You're
I'm
saying
manifesting
the opposite of what you want.
I've always been the chunky kid. I've always had a weight thing. I've always been trying to lose weight. I've always, right? So that's the story. That's the story that's playing in your head.
Yeah.
You've always been. And in fact, I haven't always been. And that's the interesting part. But I go back to, I've always been.
Yeah.
So it's almost like I'm kind of, am I making myself the victim? Maybe. I mean, I feel like extreme and like jumping to that, but I mean, truly, probably. Like I'm the victim of my weight problem or whatever it is.
Perhaps. I mean, depends on really what you're truly thinking about.
Right.
But it's also not just about, like it's obviously talking about in the present, like we said, but it doesn't matter what you were. If you always were this, doesn't mean you still have to be that.
You can
so
be something
I
different.
think that.
But you have to be it. You have to live it. You have to feel it. That's the thing with manifesting too, is like Lynn said, this appeals to all of your senses. So you could write that down because words are super important. Words are what you're putting out into the universe. It's what it understands. Doesn't matter what language it's in. It's translated. I'm going to say like a fax machine. It turns into some like weird symbols or something in my head, and that's how it ends up being manifested.
It turns into energy.
It does.
Whatever you do turns into energy. Whether you
right.
think it, whether you write it, whether you speak it, it's all energetically.
Right. So you see it, you think it, you feel it. You have to apply all of these senses on all levels to create that vibration, to put it into place. Because really what the universe is doing is mirroring back to you what you're showing it.
Yes.
So if I'm showing it that I have a track running in my head that I'm always the victim of my weight problem, then I'm going to continue to have a mirror that shows me that. If I tell myself something different, if I feel something different, if I communicate something different, which is really hard to do, right? I mean, it is. It's going to display a boomerang effect in a mirror back to me.
Definitely. And I was going to say that, and this isn't just true for manifesting, but the universe does not understand the negative. Meaning that, like, I don't want to be fat. That sentence means the universe hears. They don't hear the don't.
It's the verbs.
They don't hear the don't. The universe doesn't hear the don't. They hear, I want to be fat. Well, here I am.
Right, they, yeah.
So,
that's funny.
They,
I always like, in my head, it has to be like a collective audience up there, like fielding the request.
Yeah. Like, you got like the
there might be.
The lady at the airplane counter in that movie, Meet the Fockers, maybe? I don't know. When she's like, request. Yeah. Want to be fat? Here you go.
Yeah.
Send it out. That's what I picture.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
So anyway, it takes a lot to be able to speak in the present, to think in the present, to think as if it's already happened. Be thankful thankful that you're fit. Thankful that I look the way I want to look. Thankful, you don't have to say.
Well, in your mind, you do. You have to change that belief system, like truly change it.
Yes.
And that is tricky because if you're not having the success that you want, how quickly we fall back into those patterns of belief systems, how quickly our brains go right back to that negative, even though the universe isn't hearing the negative, we are, right? So it's easier to latch onto those ideas where it's like, it's not working. I failed. I'm still fat. I'm always going to be, right? So yeah, it's a hard loop to break.
It's definitely a hard thing to speak in the present. Like I said, like it takes a lot to, I want to say, rewire your brain to do that. Like
it does.
It's true of many things. We can give example after example. So obviously sticking with this one, it's literally just saying what you truly want.
Right.
What you truly want.
And digging into, and speaking of breaking those habits, You know, I it's part of that shadow work that people always get scared of that term. I love the idea of shadow work. It's so great. All that means is digging deep into your own belief systems and understanding where these things come from. And I recently came across a TikTok that was really I don't know, it's kind of one of those blow your mind emoji ones. And I started to you know how we all get these things in our feed and they just keep populating. But I was this one therapist keeps popping into my feed, and she talks about narcissism. But anyway, she's talking about people who grow up in narcissistic households with narcissistic moms, and the connection between food and that relationship. And I mean, that relationship absolutely existed in my life. The relationship is no longer there, but those foundations of that belief system that was created in that toxic environment probably still exist. And before watching this video, I truly never really thought about that. Never occurred to me that my belief system digs way back into things that I was taught, programmed to do, whatever it was from a childhood level that have become part of me. Now I'm mirroring that, right? Like, so I continue to mirror that because that's my belief system. That's how I've always been. So when you do the shadow work, I got to go back and dig into that, and I need to understand, like, does that apply to me, and do I think that, and whoa, and it must apply to me just because I was so like when I heard it, you know, I was like, oh, it really hit a nerve, it really resonated. But you know, I would have told you all kinds of other things, like I'm bad at counting calories, I'm bad at I'm not consistent enough, I'm not diligent enough, I'm not
trying hard enough,
right.
I don't want it enough, like I something's wrong with me. You know, like,
yeah, I mean, something probably is, like, I think probably really jacked up for me but probably because I altered what I was supposed to be doing from a very young age. Perhaps. But in any case, so so it's really if you want to mirror something back to you, you got to go back into those belief systems and look at them and say, like, well, yeah, I want the opposite, but wanting it and being it, how do I be it? Like, how do I get there? So, and that's really hard. But so I'm going to flip the script a little bit, and I want to tell you about my greatest manifestation.
This is so great. I love this story.
The greatest manifestation ever is my son. And it was like a truly magical moment for me, and it makes me teary just like thinking about it. And I don't even know why it happened in the moment it did, but it was like instant.
That's what's meant to be.
It was just instant with the universe. And
oh, I got chill.
Right. I mean, I struggled for decades, wanting to be a mom, wanting to have a baby. I'll put it out there like that. Like, that was the manifestation. Like, I wanted to have a baby. And, you know, I jumped through all the hoops that I'm sure many of you women out there may have done. Down all the roads, the testing, the treatments, the schedules, the cycles, like the whole thing. I've had a couple miscarriages, which is crushing. You know, it's been a whole journey, but yet there's the dream. I want to have a baby. And it was so weird. Like, I was painting my deck. And you know how when you do like mindless kind of work like that, like all of a sudden you're
or somewhere bizarre. Or
yeah, like you're driving for a long
distance
distance by yourself, or like, yeah, like, or you're putting a puzzle together. I don't know, just that open space in your mind where you're just, you know, methodically doing something, and your brain just is allowed to open up. And it wasn't intentionally doing it, but like but I must have entered some type of space like that, and I'm painting. And I was thinking about this whole thing, and then it really dawned on me that it was all my wording, because I wanted to have a baby. And it was like a weird light bulb moment, and you'll all think like, duh, when I say it. But for me, it was profound in changing the concept of, I want to be a mom. I want to be a mom. I don't need to have a baby to be a mom. I might need to obtain a baby, to be a mom, but I don't need to have it. Like, I don't need to birth it. It doesn't need to come from me. And if that wasn't part of my journey, if I wasn't going to be able to physically do that, and I wanted to be a mom, like, what did I want? What was the priority for me? How did I want this to come into my life? Was it not going to work for me if I couldn't have my own child? And I had long decided, like, no, that wasn't a hurdle for me. That wasn't an obstacle for me. I wanted to be a mom more than anything. I didn't want to just have a baby. I wanted to be a mom. And I stood up because it was like I was painting. I was like kneeling down. I was painting, and I was just like, oh my God, that's what I want. Like, that's what I want. I want to be a mom. And I don't know. We went on with the day, and that very night, I went to visit my sister. And
I just got more chills because I rember this. I was with you,
yeah.
So I obviously I remember it.
And if she ever watches the podcast, she'll probably laugh because she was in the hospital. She had just had surgery, and she was kind of out of it. Like my sister is very funny to begin with, and anyway, but she's just rambling on and on and on, and we could tell like the stuff's still in her system, and she tells me how she believes there's going to be a baby that's going to go up for adoption. And I was like, oh, I did not connect. I did not connect it at all. I did not connect what she told me 3 hours after I was painting the deck and had this moment that just kind of blew in the wind to what she said at that hospital. I didn't connect it.
Well, I wouldn't have either because you told me about what happened on the deck, but I also think that in the moment she was still feeling the effects of anesthesia, and I think that we probably both thought that she was just
you're just like, okay,
just
like,
talking.
I mean, she could have told me that unicorns were in her yard, and I would have been like, okay,
what?
Yeah. you saw them, right? Yeah. So in any case, fast forward maybe like another month or so. I maybe wasn't even.
I don't even think it was a month.
We got together for a gathering, and she pulls me to the side, and she says, "Do you remember I told you about the baby that I thought was going to go for adoption?" And I said, "Well, yeah, vaguely." And she said, "Well, that's what's going to happen." And she's like, "I really think this is something for you. Are you interested?" I was like, "Am I interested?"
Interested. It sounds like no.
Am I interested?
In
like
going to the movies tonight?
Right? Are you interested in like buying this car? And I was like, "Am I interested?" I was like, "Oh my gosh!" Like, I'm more than interested. Like this is it. Like, and I knew in that moment. I was like, "This is my opportunity. Like, this is it." Like, it just felt more real to me than anything else. And 3-4 months later, we had a baby. 3 months later.
I can't.
3 months later, there was a baby.
Most perfect little baby.
Yep, he is perfect. He's all mine, I just, yeah, for me, I feel like that was I don't know, the most profound moment in my life where I realized that I was doing it all wrong, sort of. Like, I'm putting it out there all wrong. My messaging wasn't right. Like I wanted to have a baby, and it would be fine if I got a baby another way, but I wasn't really manifesting that way, so.
Yeah, it was literally about the words.
It literally what? It was about changing my entire mindset on what do you want? Do you want to be a mom, or do you want to have a baby? And it was, I want to be a mom. Like, that's the goal. Yeah. So I wish I could say that I have been able to do that like multiple times all over my life. And to a degree, I think I have. And I think it's easier to manifest like smaller things, like green lights.
Yes.
Like, I want all the green lights, I want, things like that, or a really great parking spot, or, I really could use, I don't know, like this takeout order to come faster, something like that. Like these little things, those things are easy. I'm not going to say manipulate, but yeah, they're a little easier to manipulate.
When there's like the one, like, you're in the store and there's like one left of the thing that you really want. You're like, oh, there it is. Like,
yes.
Those are easier.
And but why are they easier? Do you know why?
Because you don't have as much attachment to the outcome.
Exactly.
If whatever I'm looking for in the store is in fact not there,
It's not there.
Because I'm probably going to go online now and look to see if I
Right.
can send ships.
Yeah.
But it's fine. Like, moving on with my next thing, like, whatever. It doesn't
It's
impact
not making
me.
or breaking you.
Yeah. So
It might feel inconvenient. It might be a pain in the butt. It might have to wait a little longer to get her. It might have to drive to another store. Yeah, but there's no connection to it. Like, you didn't get the green light. You're not going to spend the whole day like pouting over the fact that you had to wait at a red light. Like, you had to wait at the red light. Like, that's what you had to do, right? And then you move on, and that's
Some
that.
people don't wait.
Right, or you run it. Like, I don't know.
There's options.
Technically, yes, there are. But it's true. But yeah, so but you let go of it. You let go of the outcome because it doesn't. It would be nice in the moment, but it doesn't really matter. And in that letting go, you are able to mirror it back to you. And the letting go was really hard because
it's almost indescribable because it is a very, very hard thing to describe. I mean, I just said it, but it's how do you teach someone to let go? Like, it's how do you teach that? How do you explain that?
Right, you have to disconnect yourself from the outcome.
Be able to
be fine without it.
Yeah.
No matter what it is, money, a family, a spouse, or a relationship, or you have to be fine without it.
Yeah.
And that's the hard part, is that we obviously are very invested in what we are dreaming about and what we want and what we're focused on. And I'm not saying that you have to definitely put focus into your intention, positive focus, because where energy goes, where focus flows, where energy goes.
Energy goes where focus.
Yeah, so I always want to flip that around. Energy goes where
energy flows where focus goes. What the heck is wrong with us?
Write that down.
Write it down the right way, though, because I feel like that was a hot mess. I'm sorry.
Yes. But so you do have to put energy into it. You have to put focus into it in order to create that momentum and create that energy to move it. But there's also a letting go of the outcome of it. You also, the thing with manifesting is you don't worry about the why. And that is where I feel like most people get lost.
Or the how.
Yes. People get lost in the weeds of manifesting, including myself,
yes,
a lot.
Yes.
Because I want to know how it's all coming together.
Yeah. Yeah. How is this working? How do I, you want to manifest something that seems outrageous because that's what you want. But, you get stuck with like, well, I don't have funding for this, or I don't have a
rich
way to get
rich
there,
relative
like,
to give it to me.
I mean, whatever it is. Like, yeah, it's getting caught in that is super easy.
Yes.
And it gets you nowhere.
It doesn't, because
it gets you into the negative space of you repeating all the things that you do not want.
Well, you also begin to tell and dictate to the universe how it has to happen. So now you've closed all these pathways of how it potentially could happen, because you've decided, well, it can't possibly happen from that way because I don't have that. It can't possibly happen from this way. So now you've closed all these doors that, were otherwise, like, there could have been 50 doors open, and you have like closed them because you're like, nah, I can't, that can't possibly be. It can't possibly work.
And that's exactly what you just said in your story about your greatest manifestation. As soon as you opened the
floodgate, the whatever.
I don't know, this.
Yes.
This, whatever this is, you opened it, and then it was
just like that, instant.
Yeah, and it definitely was one of those aha moments where you're just kind of like.
Yeah, when I stopped saying it had to be from me, like I had to be the vessel to do that, other avenues opened.
Yeah.
Just like that.
It's kind of sometimes equivalent-ish to thinking outside the box, which it's not exactly that, but it's something similar to that. Like, where you just kind of, as soon as, like, you're so stuck in this little hole, this little box, that it's literally the answer, the solution, the thing, whatever, is like right outside the line. If you just actually looked that way, so it's similar in that way, but not quite the same.
Yep. So don't worry about the how. Don't worry about why it's going to be or how it's going to come about or the ways it could or could not, or it doesn't matter. Just put it out there in the universe. And my greatest manifestation is now the best little manifester. He really is. He is the most amazing little manifester I have ever seen, and I learned from him all the time. And I remember he must have been about 3, and I just chuckled because the snow, do you remember the snow one is fantastic. We were in the car, and it was wintertime. I mean, it wasn't like it was summer and he asked for it, but he really was like, Mom, I really want it to snow. And you know, where we live, when we were kids, we used to get a lot of snow. And I feel like now we don't really, it's not like accumulating snow. It's not big
like,
snow.
I know, we got some like flurries and it's like.
So the poor kid, and maybe had seen snow like one time up until then. He's like, I really wanted to snow. And there wasn't really snow in the forecast. There really was not. I mean, it was cold, it was winter, but it wasn't snowing. And I said, well, you know, sometimes you got to ask for what you want. And we sat in the back seat in his little booster seat, and he looked up, and I could see him out, you know, through my rear view, and he's looking up at the sky, and he goes, clouds, can you make it snow? Thank you. And I don't even know I don't know why he said it. I don't know where it came from. I don't know why he even said thank you. I mean, thank you is the appropriate thing. That's the other thing. You have to thank the universe when you actually are achieving or getting that back, because it continues to grow in that, in the confirmation of the gratitude. So I chuckled at his little, like, you know, wish to the clouds to snow. Did it not snow that night?
It did.
It absolutely snowed.
It did.
It definitely snowed that night, like a couple inches. And he woke up and he was like, I got my snow. And
I know. I'm like, hey, buddy. There's a couple things that I really,
right, exactly.
really would like. I mean, haven't we just like, can you read this back?
You put this out in the universe,
Aunt
right?
Lenny needs.
Yeah, I mean, but he does it all the time. I mean, all the time.
It's almost a little bit like
disconcerting. Yeah, where you're like, how are you doing
who do you
that?
have a connection with out there?
How are you manifesting these little things that you want in your little self? Like,
that lady at the keyboard got, like, you know, Colton got a line right to her.
He does. Like, he absolutely, but you know, because he doesn't have a connection to the outcome. You know, he's like, well, it would be great if, but if he doesn't get snow, he's going to wake up tomorrow. It's going to be no big deal.
Yeah, it would have been like, well, I'm just going to go play in the mud.
Right. Right. Exactly. But it is amazing for me to watch him, because he hasn't like watched this podcast. Like, he doesn't really know what he's doing. He has no idea that he's manifesting these things, except he knows that he asks and he puts it out there, and then boom, it's like magic, which it is. It appears for him.
Yeah. It's a delight to see. It really is.
It's really fun. It's really awesome. Fun. Yeah. And I just, you know, encourage him to do that. Like, well, you want that, you put it out there, you ask for it, and then he manages to let go of whatever that outcome is, and it shows up right in his life. And it's awesome. It's really cool.
It really is.
I have a lot, you know, it's really fun when you can learn from especially little kids. I think it's really fun. So hopefully we've given you a lot to think about. So and one of the reasons to bring this up now is because, you know, we're wrapping up the 2025 and we're coming into 26, and I feel like people always go through this whole like resolution thing. Like, am I going to do a resolution? Am I not? I tend to set my resolutions a lot of times in the fall, because something about like that back to school fall thing for me. I don't know. It's like now I can
a lot of things.
reset.
Yeah, like your whole calendar changes. It's definitely a thing.
But not to knock the new year, because it's the traditional time to set new goals.
I mean, honestly, because then anytime.
You don't
anytime.
do it in the next instant. You don't have to wait for Monday or January or whatever. In any case, but in the spirit of the season of people setting resolutions and things like that, something to think about on: are you going to set that same resolution you always have? And if you have, that's fine, but it means you haven't achieved it if you're setting the same one. So what do you need to do different to get there? How can you start digging deeper and looking at what you're projecting out in the universe in order to actually get back what you want? Because it's all right there for the taking. There is enough for everyone. There is really true, even despite like the world and the state of everything, there's enough. There is enough out there for everyone if we are using the universe as a mirror and putting out what we want. So hope that gives you something to think about.
It does for me, honestly. It reminds me that what I want, I need to make sure that I'm thinking in the present, that I'm thinking the universe, that it's already feeling exists. Like it already has happened or exists.
You have to be the change. You have to literally become it, and that's challenging. It's hard, but
it's very hard.
But if it's something that you truly want to do, you got to find a way to do that.
Yeah.
So. All right. Well, till next time.
Till next time.
Good luck.
You got it.
Yep.